Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 28th of December. We're running out of 2024, aren't we? Just in a few days, it's going to be 2025. Wasn't there a song in the year 2525? So we've got a little ways to catch up to that song. Another 4 centuries, 400 years, and we'll catch up to 2520 in the year 2525. Anyway, weather. It's 47 degrees outside at 6:34 a.m. on a Saturday, and we have a beautiful day ahead of us, and we have really beautiful 10 days ahead of us. I checked the winds, and as you know, I flag winds that I think are above 9 miles per hour, and I saw nada for the next 10 days. So the winds will be in good shape. The highs are between 68 and 74. The lows from about 44 to 47. I saw a couple of days, and there's cloud cover on probably more than half the days. A little bit of cloud cover, not total cloud cover, a little bit of cloud cover. So they're not going to be perfect cloudless blue sky days. That's pretty rare, actually, this time of year. So the weather's going to be great if you're planning on being in Quartzsite, if you're here now or you're planning on being here soon. Before I get to the comments, I want to read an email that I think you'll find amusing. Now, keep in mind that people that sell stuff reach out to influencers, YouTubers like me, and say, hey, and they all say the same thing. I love your channel, your personality, and just they compliment you in a very generic way. You can tell they've never watched the channel. They're only they're picking channels with certain stats that they like, and certain guesstimates about demographics. And they flatter you and they say, hey, I'll send you our product for free because we think you're the perfect person to promote it. Now, I don't do that. Now, I'm not going to say I'll never do that if I'm asked to do a product that I'm really familiar with, that is probably expensive, that that I am really sure about. I might do that. You might see a paid promotion little tag in the beginning, but it's going to be rare. I'm certainly not going to do the ridiculous ones like this one. Listen to this. Dear friend, that's genuine to open with. I've never met you in my life, and you're calling me dear friend. I hope this email finds you well. I have been following your YouTube content on, and they hit insert YouTube. They forgot to insert Travels with Toddy, and have been truly impressed by your authentic engagement and style. Your influence in women's clothing community has caught our attention. And we believe that a collaboration between you and @lady would be a fantastic partnership. At @lady, we specialize in providing high-quality shapewear that empowers individuals to feel confident and comfortable in their own skin. We are reaching out to you with an exciting opportunity to join hands and create meaningful content that resonates with your audience. There's more, but I don't. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to read it. You get the joke, right? It's pretty funny. There was a comment yesterday where I guess people's tolerance or level of being offended by things that they see on the internet vary quite a bit. This one was on the outer edges because they were very offended by me. And what did I do that really offended them? They're like, you have pet hair on your shirt every day. And they were just like, they were really offended by that. Well, guess what? I wear black t-shirts. I got a dog. I got a cat. I got pet hair. And if that's offensive to you, I am just virtually certain there are pet hair free YouTube channels by the hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands. They're out there. So really, I encourage you, if you're the one that is offended by my pet hair, please, please, please find a channel that's pet hair free so you can be free. Okay. Let's go. Yvonne says, we hope to spend part of the winter 2026 in the queue. We may stay if we love it as much as I anticipate. Can you please address running the AC or refer me to one of your videos on the topic? Well, I said from mid-November into the end of February, you will not need AC. You just won't. If there's an odd hot day, you'll probably just suffer through it. Otherwise, you're going to need to run a generator unless you have a giant battery bank with a giant inverter. Warmth is much more of a concern. Being warm enough is much more of a concern here in Quartzsite in the winter. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Keith M., thanks for this video. It's super helpful. And I'm guessing this was Quartzsite for beginners. That's what I did yesterday. Lots of comments on that one. That's from Keith M. From Angel and great information, my sweethearts. Thank you, Miss Precious Dottie, Mr. Handsome Dad. This video will help so many good people that needs it, enjoying their happiness. Y'all have a beautiful day there. Angel and I, Angela from North Carolina, are sending Miss Dottie and you lots of love and hugs. Well, thank you. There was another comment that, I had that was, what was it? They didn't like this video because it felt like I was talking to people like they were children. You never know how people are going to react to your behavior, your looks, your talking. There's a whole variety of reactions out there. It's a good life lesson. Not everyone sees you the same way. Ken Gray says, good information. High praise from Ken, let me tell you. Ken's the information guy. Trailer Trash Tim. Sorry, Rob, if I missed it, but do you run your built-in house heat with propane or do you use another heat source such as Olympian? I gave him my heating myself boondocking and Quartzsite video. I gave that to him. And I believe that's also at the end of the video where there's 4 places you can click for 4 different videos. That's one of the videos if you're interested. And in Angelina, good morning, Rob and Furbays. You all have a great day with enjoying friends and places. Take me along if you can. I do understand you need privacy also. However, here in North Carolina, with only my spoiled cockatoo, because he's the boss over me, so I can only imagine a wife. He loves us. They're here, my hubby, brother-in-law, me. He's the boss over all 3. He keeps us behaving for sure. Yes, we need long videos from you. I do enjoy them dearly. Thank you very much. Hugs from North Carolina. Montana wife, my husband and I love watching your videos together, but he's gotten kind of pissed off about how much I love your beard. That's pretty funny. Well, why don't you tell your husband something about him that you love? That would be a better thing to do. D.D. Cornell, good morning, Mr. Rob, Dottie, and George. He said it's a typo. It said engorge. Hey, Gorge. He didn't look up. George didn't look up either. Are you sleeping, George? Hey. Well, he looked kind of pissed off at me. Oh, well. Tim Cochin, great video for newcomers. Thank you. RV Life says, always informative. Thank you so much. Ken, here's Ken again on Quartzsite Comments. Even my British neighbors were surprised I knew this. Boxing Day, day after Christmas, was the day that posh people gave gifts in boxes to the servants and tradesmen. Not too many servants in Commonwealth countries these days, but they still celebrate. In England, God help you if you forget to tip the garbage men. Pardon me. Let's see. Rich D on Quartzsite for Beginners. Always a great video, Rob. Read the vault toilets. I was told by a volunteer at La Posa South. There are 21 in total, 7 each at La Posa South, North, and Tyson Wash. There's one in La Posa West, but it's for staff only. Good info. Nancy Lowe, I have T-Mobile for my phone. I always have service. When it gets crowded, it may slow down at peak times, but I've always had service. I sleep in a tent, and I do not use a heater. I purchased 2 king-size quilts, and they keep me warm. But I bought for really cold nights a very thick Afghan. These 3 items I bought at Quartzsite Community Thrift Store, and a Native American blanket with my sheets. I have a knitted cap I wear on my head and socks to help keep warm. If I'm still cold, I prefer to keep cool where I sleep. You keep your wig way too warm for me. Ha! Okay, if you look on the wall. Now, the thermometer's high on the wall, so it's cooler down here, but not much. 80. Love you, love your channel. Well, thank you so much, Nancy. Cottywample 6. Shout out to that Indian restaurant. They gave free meals to everyone that came on the 24th, 25th, and 26th, and they're open 24/7. Really? I got to check that out. 24/7, really? I think that's over by Love's, if I'm correct. Quartzsite for beginners. Christy, Lena, give me 2 thumbs up. That's better than a different finger, right? Jeremy Jacobs. Hi, I'm new to your channel. We are going to be headed your way from Paris, Texas. Do you have any advice to stay there because we're homeless and living in our trucks, so we need information about what's available there to help us? And I said, 14-day BLM areas are free. There are a few near Quartzsite. Okay, what do we do after 14 days? They said, move to BLM area 30 miles away. There are a few to choose from in that range. Hope that helps them. I hope that helps you, Jeremy. Mighty Mouse, thank you for the simple, easier to follow noob guide. We are planning to come down next winter. All right. Hi, Rob. This is from Dan Doe. Another great video. We stayed in Quartzsite last year in a 24-foot Class C motorhome, and the 2 lead-acid batteries worked okay for heat until morning at 70 degrees. We purchased a 30-foot Class A this year, and one of the lead batteries had a bad cell, so I ordered a new 300 amp hour lithium battery to replace the 2 lead house batteries. Smart move. Was wondering, what is your thought on it? Do you think it's enough to run the furnace all night and maybe use the LED lights in the evening for a bit before going to bed? Yes, I do. If they're charged up. You got to charge them up during the day, but also this RV came with a 100 amp hour solar panel as well. That's not enough to charge that 300. Not even close. You basically need double, at least. So I would get at least 600 watts of solar, if not more. Ideally, 1,000 watts, if you can afford it. Also, this RV came with 100 amp hour solar panel as well, so we should be able to charge part of the battery with it during the day and use the generator for the rest of it. Yeah, you can do that too. I spoke too soon. You can use the generator, but if you just wanted to use the sun, you need a lot more than 100 watts. 100 watts will just barely do anything for that 300 amp hour battery. Thank you, especially if you're using power during the day at all. Nada. Thank you again for your very informative video. We look forward to coming to Quartzsite again in January. So to give you an idea, I have 600 amp hours of lithium batteries, so double what you have. And I have, let's see, I always have to do the math. It's a 12 or, so 340, 540 on the roof and 700 on the ground. So that's about 1,300 watts of solar. Now, 540 of it is flex panels that are flat on the roof, though that doesn't do well in the winter because of the angle of the sun. And the rest of it is at an angle on the ground. Even so, like yesterday was a little cloudy, and I'd use a lot of internet. I have Starlink that takes 50 or 60 watts 24 hours a day. I'd leave it on 24 hours. So that's a big factor. I've got the lights here, these lights and stuff when I'm recording or when I'm on a Zoom call. Still, with yesterday with a partly cloudy day, I only got up to 95%. And it's actually rare for me to get to 100%. It's got to be a cloudless day for me to get to 100%. So keep that in mind. It's a good example for this time of year. Thank you again for your very informative videos. We look forward to coming to Quartzsite again in January. All right. Now we have Dando. Oh, there's a sometimes when we do comments, it doubles them for some reason. It did that time. It's not your fault. It just happens. It's happened to me too. TJ Houseman, great information. Stacy Jones, hot Dottie dog. Hi, hot Dottie dog. Hi, Dottie dog. Hi, Dottie. Dottie's sleeping. Arlene Griffin, I'm a newbie to these things. When you pay for LTVA, are you assigned a certain place to park or just where there is space? Would love to visit Quartzsite. And I said, please watch the video. That question is answered in some detail starting at timestamp 424. So it's funny, not often, but people will sometimes ask a video maybe based on the title of the video without watching it. And it's like, the answer's in the video. That's what the video's about. Oops, got my answer, she said. Thanks. And then she said, thanks for the great information. So I think we crossed there. I think so here's what people do. It's not deliberate. Here's what some people do. They're like starting to watch the video and they have a question and they type it in and send the comment while they're watching the video. Then the answer comes and they go, oh, he answered. Sorry, got it. And I caught her between. Naj says, on my positive news video, fisherman hooks a woman. A woman was being carried out to sea in a riptide to her death. There was no one near her that could get to her. No boats, nothing. And this guy on the shore used his fishing rig and he hooked her. He hooked her jeans with a hook and reeled her in. Amazing story. And Nash says, no way, that must have been the hand of God who guided the fishing line. Wow, what skills. Man fishes woman title reminds me of the story my aunt always told. The first time my uncle took her fishing, she caught a 145-pound fish. Holy mackerel. It was my uncle. Okay, got it. She cast the line and hooked his hand deep. That was the last time she went fishing. That's pretty funny. Robin Goff says, hi, Robin. I remember watching Captain Kangaroo. I love that show. My family would do an annual family reunion over Labor Day weekend in Bristol, Pennsylvania. I know for sure it was held in the same land for 70 years before changing location and date of the event. Most years would have more than 65 of us all together. Games with prizes to the winners. The men played poker basically from sun up till late at night when they broke for sleep. Sometimes a talent show was put on. The generals sit around and tell stories of years ago. I remember being too young to go horseback riding with the older teens group. By the time I got old enough, the stable was no longer in business. Too many bingo games to count. For the 50th consecutive year, the local paper did a write-up about the reunion. On our way back to New Jersey every year, we would stop at this one place for the best ice cream cones. They had so many choices of toppings. I remember peanut butter crunch topping they had, and I would have it with chocolate ice cream. The best I ever had, even till now. I'll be 60 in March. I need to wipe the drool from my chin, but joking, but almost. Thank you for the kind response to my statement about YouTube. I should have remembered that you don't do this for the income, strictly fun for you. And if the difference is just a few cents, probably not a big deal. But it does all add up. I would much rather watch videos I choose on YouTube than the garbage shows and movies on TV today. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still paying for cable TV. She got a couple of responses to that. Oh, I said that question is answered around the 4-minute mark in detail to her. It was, I see, I make mistakes too. That was for another person. And I just realized now reading it, it was for the person that was asking, where can I park? And I answered that and it disappeared. And I'm like, well, I better do it again. And I did, but on the wrong person. As I was saying, thank you. I think you misunderstood. I wasn't looking for a reply or response, or I misunderstood you. I didn't ask a question. And I'm going to say, LOL. I posted that to the wrong comment. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So, Robin, it had nothing to do with you. It was that other lady. So, okay. So that's where that comment went to. That's where it disappeared to. Carmen says, this is the first time I've seen a video of yours. I appreciate you so much. This was jam-packed full of practical information. Thank you. Dottie looks like a rat terrier mix. Not heard that one before. So cute. Carmen, again, this is the second video watch of yours. Now I'm a new subscriber. That was so the first one was she saw was Quartzsite for beginners. Then she watched the comments video. She's probably watching it again. I see you through there. You know what that's from? We were talking about Captain Kangaroo. Do you guys remember Romper Room? Where at the end of the show, she would put up like a magic mirror that she could see through, and she would act like she could see you through the TV, and she would throw out a ton of names. And every once in a while, one of the names would be Robert. And I was convinced that she could see me on the couch. And I was so excited, like every other kid whose name got mentioned. Carmen has another comment on another video. Look who I ran into. It was an older video. She says, this is a great look at how to navigate literally and figuratively living in the desert for the winter. Thank you for the tour and information. Another one from Carmen on Pet Patio, K&K Kitchen. I've been going down the line and really watching your videos. I'm really enjoying them. Well, thank you, Carmen. Then Bud Metcalf. Are there any vault toilets on BLM land I want to visit for 2 or 3 nights, so I may have to pay $40 just to be near a toilet? Yeah, you probably will, because they're only in LTVA areas and not in all 4. Apparently west, Leposa West does not have one, but North, Leposa South, and Leposa Tyson Wash have vault toilets. Robert Ballard says, on my Residents of Leposa South LTVA, it's my game camera. It says, hi, Rob, I think you're onto something here. Call it Coyote Cam. These shadowy residents are very entertaining. It's like a small city of activity well after the sun goes down. And notice that the jackrabbit did not hang around very long. It took a quick selfie and exited stage left. Rob, your informative videos on the Beginner's Guide to Quartzsite is building into a standard for any camper to use and follow. We often review some of your Quartzsite videos. It's a very unique town to visit, but as you point out, it takes a bit of extended planning for longer stays. Merry Christmas to you, Dottie and George. Well, thank you, Robert. Terry, Rob, another informative and helpful video on contemplating coming out January for a few weeks or longer and boondocking in the LTVA. I'll be working remotely for much of that time. My concern is with the Wi-Fi or internet, as I need that for work. I have Verizon that seems to have great coverage in most places, but I understand there are issues with internet connection coverage and or speed. Do you recommend that I get Starlink roam service? I only need it for the time I'm in Quartzsite. What are your thoughts, as always, for being such a tremendous resource to us RVers? By the way, your beard looks awesome. Well, here's what I wrote, and then I'll expound more on it in case Terry's watching this, and I hope you are, Terry. I have Starlink. As for call service in January, it is shown to be almost useless in the evening hours due to tower overload. Okay, more detail. My experience is limited to my little area in Leposa South, okay, and the anecdotal information for other people I've known here for the years that I've been coming here. some people occasionally will say, well, I don't have any problem at all. And I don't know how valid that is. But I do know, even though you have like 5 bars of signal in the evening, in particular in January when it's at its peak, the towers are overloaded, and you probably won't be able to do, depending on the work that you do, if you do like Zoom calls or something, it's going to be terrible probably. That said, I heard a rumor, and I don't know this to be fact, that there's a new Verizon tower in town. I don't know what impact that's having. However, if you can afford Starlink, get it. I have Starlink, and I depend heavily on it. And I always do. And if you can get the roam where you can turn it on when you're here, turn it off otherwise where you don't get charged, it's going to be $165 a month. That's a lot of money. But if you're doing it for work, that makes sense. All right. I have to come back and finish this up later because I have work to do right now. My alarm just went off, and I need to have a meeting. I'll see you, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. You can tell it's a little lighter in here, huh? The sun is up. So continuing, the Four Kings says, this is great information. Just a few more weeks, and I will be headed down there. Well, good. And then Feminine M, Feminem Poet, Feminine Poet. Thank you, very appreciated. And that's on the Quartzsite for Beginners. Mark Thompson says, coming out there for the first time in January. Is it okay to run my own generator some to keep batteries charged? It is quiet. Still working on my solar and a lithium battery setup. You can run your generator from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Those are the rules. Generally, if you're going to run a generator a lot, I would tend to park further away from people versus closer, just for courtesy. And if you can, towards the middle of the day is better than nearer to 6 a.m. or nearer to 10 p.m., right? So you got people sleeping until 9 or 10 in the morning, and you have people going to bed at 7 or 8. So midday is courtesy. Robin Goff says, another very informative video, Rob. Thank you so much for trying to make things as easy as possible for the newbies coming and how they can have their best time rather than just show up and be like, well, now what? And of course, love seeing Dottie Girl. Sean MacArthur says, this is a ride to Blythe. These came through because I had published the ride to Blythe just now, the long form video. And Sean MacArthur says, maybe another dark Mark the Rock, and she smells it. That's probably, Dottie stops at the same rock every morning, and that's probably true. Jeff Garrison, safe travels to your friends. Always great for meetup and long stay with friends. Thanks for that comment, Jeff. And Cliff says, good morning. And RV Life says, I love that Dottie loves that rock. Remember Pet Rocks? Yeah, I do remember Pet Rocks. And Zigzag says, I really like the Food City Grocery in Parker. JS, I think that means just saying. I'm not aware of the Food City Grocery in Parker. I'll have to check that out. There's a reply there. My 4th year, and I've never been to Blythe, but I'm tempted to go to the Sizzler restaurant or to Little Caesars. I carry my refrigerator freezer in my van and always have some produce in there, so I don't want to be stopped. Well, that is it. Oh, wait a second. There's one more. Jeremy Grandstaff says, awesome share. What a great story. There is so much we can do for others. And that's on today's positive news video. And that's amazing kindness. And that is a story. And I don't want to do a spoiler for you because it's an amazing story about a 24-year-old waitress in New Jersey and what she does and what happens with her is a pretty amazing positive news story. I think you'll really like it. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.